The last time I added a page to my comic, it was December 15th, 2025. It's now May of 2026. I want to talk about that. Part of it is that one thing that I've always wanted to do with this channel is be open and honest about some of the less glamorized aspects of art. I think that art is so important. Clearly, it's something that I talk about all the time. It's something that I do all the time. Art is just so important. It's so innately human to be creative and make things. And I encourage every single person to, no matter what the medium is, go and create things. It's so important. And it's so good for you. The problem is that there are times where it can still be frustrating. You know, people know what burnout is, and people know what art block is and everything, and it's something that we talk about and we joke about on the internet, but I think that sometimes people make it a little bit too lighthearted, which I understand. Not everybody wants to sit in doom and gloom and be all depressed and everything, but I think that, you know, maybe sometimes it's better to be honest, because I don't want people to think that their struggles are worse than normal because the version that they see is kind of made a little less heavy. I also think that I want to do this because making this video is kind of forcing me to talk about a big problem that I've been having that is making me really unhappy, if I'm gonna be really honest, and I think that it's affecting pretty much all the other artistic endeavors that I have been indulging in. So let's talk about my quote-unquote holiday hiatus from Girl and Ghost. For anybody that's watching and is unaware of what Girl and Ghost is, it is, well, supposed to be my currently running comic, and it follows, as you might imagine, a girl and a ghost, as they do girl and ghost related shenanigans. It actually started as a school project, of all things. In my last semester of college, I took a second level of a comics class that I had taken the previous year, both times as an elective. I don't have an art degree, which is weird considering what I am doing, like, right now. But, you know, I wanted to take the second level, I had an opportunity to do it, and it was a great time. And as a part of this class, we were given an assignment where we had to basically put up a certain amount of panels for a comic that we were to write and conceive and create on our own every week. That was the assignment. And it wasn't for like the entirety of the semester. It was, I think, 6 weeks that we ended up doing this. And the concept that I came up with for that assignment was Girl and Ghost. I first came up with the idea as basically an amalgamation of some leftover projects and ideas from other stuff that I really just never got around to. Some of it came from scrapped ideas from, like, Mina. She was originally supposed to be a girl who could see ghosts and demons and angels, and nobody else could, but I changed a lot about her setting and everything, so that just really didn't make sense for the story anymore, so I scrapped it and ended up just using that as the basis for this concept. I also took a lot of character cues from a sort of abandoned project called Doors, which maybe I'll make a video about that at some point on its own, because I think it's kind of interesting to maybe see all of the pieces that ended up going into Girl and Ghost. But it was a really quick sort of idea that I came up with because I am a person that prefers more overarching narrative works instead of slice of life sorts of things, at least in terms of actually making those things. I like making bigger story narrative driven things than slice of life things. So I didn't admittedly flesh out the concept as much as I probably should have, or that I would have under circumstances like I have now. And that problem has been definitely rearing its big ugly head lately. I love the characters, I love the setting, I love the story, I love a lot of the concepts going into it. this comic is so important to me, but when I took a break to just only have to focus on enjoying time with my family and friends over the holidays, I realized that for the past few months, I had been making pages for this comic not because I wanted to, but because it was something that I'd already committed to doing. My passion was just not there, to be frank, and that realization was very sad, because this is something that means so much to me, obviously. I don't even think that I'd have this channel right now if I hadn't stuck with that, because, and I've said this a couple times on my channel, I think, but the initial idea that I had with creating this YouTube channel is that maybe if I can get some interest in the characters, like through shorts and stuff, or just other videos, if I can get people interested in my art and my work, I can funnel them over to reading my comic. And that is a thing that I've seen a lot of other people do, and it's a thing that actually worked for me in a couple, I know for a fact people commented on that, and I also got more attention for it after I started to get some more traction on YouTube. So this thing is just so important to me, but the love that I had for working on it at the start is just not really there. And so I decided to take a little bit more time to kind of investigate what about it I wasn't happy with anymore, and there were a lot of conclusions that I came to that were disappointing. Part of it is just that the initial story concept that I had, at least in the direction that I wanted to take things, was very, very different from what I kind of think I want to do with the story now. I don't like kind of the direction that I started with, but the problem is that it's already there and I feel like I kind of have to work off of it, but I clearly did not set it up the way that I want it to be set up, and now I just don't want to touch it because of that. I also think that there is something to be said about I have learned a lot about, panel layouts and art and what I want the comic to look like and text bubbles and writing and all sorts of things that I've gotten a lot better at since I first started, which that is completely natural and normal, and that just happens whenever you have been working on something for a long time. The first versus the last version or the page or whatever you want to call it, it's gonna be very, very drastically different. That's fine. It's just another kind of piece of the thing. I also have just realized that it doesn't really fit in the plan anymore in terms of how I was trying to put it in my schedule. YouTube was not part of the schedule before, and now it's kind of the biggest part of the schedule. And I've been trying to work on my social life again, and I've been trying to do more personal health things. And I've got senior pets, and they've been taking even more focus than normal, and there's just so much that's kind of starting to get in my way. And when you couple that with not actually wanting to make time for it because you don't feel good about it, then it doesn't get done. It doesn't get worked on. I feel really, really bad about it. It's not just that it's this one project. It's the project. It's the thing that I used as a rally call to not give up on art. I thought that I was going to eventually. I thought that, I was gonna get a job in my field of choice and that it was going to be so time consuming that art would slowly just fade away, and I think that that's kind of how I started it. I started with it in mind that it wasn't gonna last till the end. So I didn't really worry too much about where it was going, but things have changed a lot, and now I don't want to think about it as a short-term thing because this is so much bigger and has gone so much farther. Everything in terms of my online presence, it's been insane, and I'm so grateful, but I haven't been taking it very seriously up until more recently, and now that I am taking it seriously, I am looking back at a lot of the stuff that I've done, and I don't like it. I don't like it. It's the case for stuff on my channel. I'm sure that that's been kind of obvious in some of my more recent community posts. It's why I haven't touched Girl and Ghost again. I feel like I have been making things and not really thinking about the long-term stuff, you know? Not just the long-term of this, like, stories that I'm writing, but the long-term of how this reflects on me as a person. I don't want to put out art into the world because I felt like I needed to do it. And that's what a lot of this channel has been recently. It's what a lot of the comic has been for a good few months, and that is not what I deserve to do to myself. It's not what this story deserves, and it's not what the people that have decided to care about it deserve. You guys deserve something that is worth your time, and that has been the hardest part of all of this, because every single time I have opened up my thumbnail canvases again, I am just staring down the barrel of, you have made people wait so long, and you don't even know if you have a good idea to come back with, and what if they wait this long and then the next thing that you put out sucks? They are gonna be so disappointed. You've already disappointed people, and you know, it's scary. It's scary that I have so many people watching what I'm doing. I wasn't ready for it. It's happened, and I'm so grateful because this has made my life so much better in so many ways, and it's so fulfilling in so many ways, but it's also really scary a lot of the time, because if I stumble, if I fuck up, I'm doing all of that in front of thousands of people. There's a lot of pressure, and I've been letting that get to me. And now I'm at a point where I don't know what I want to do, because I don't want to try and force myself into continuing to work on something that I am not proud of. I want to improve, but it's not like being better at giving critical analysis in a video, you know? It's not like that. I'm writing a story, and I'm presenting a story in a format where you are supposed to be going from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. I have to continue from the point that came before it, and I don't like the point that came before it, so I don't know what to do for the next bit. If I change it too drastically, it's gonna be really confusing and weird and bad, and if I keep going with what I've already set myself up for, I'm also not going to be happy, because then I'm going to be building off of a foundation that is really shaky and bad and ugly, and I don't like it. I have toyed with the idea, and probably what I'm going to use as background footage for this is just a recording of me playing around with the idea of maybe kind of restarting. I feel like I don't characterize Sammy very well, because the very loose idea that I had from her at the beginning was very different from the one that I ended up settling on by chapter 3. It's a lot of stuff like that, you know, where I know that I can do better. I know I can get closer to the vision that I have. I know that I have a better concept for the storyline all the way through. I know that I can do a better job of actually getting one of the fucking title characters into the story before where she's been put in, and I want to do it, but I also know that that's kind of a big no-no, is to just start over on something that you've already been publishing. A lot of people think that that's kind of a bad move, and in some ways I think it's a bad move, because I think that that encourages, like, kind of a perfectionist mentality of like, oh, well, instead of just continuing on with this project that you're supposed to be continuing on with, you just keep restarting until you like it. But I really don't like it, so I don't know what else to do besides that. But at the same time, you know, I just don't know. I don't know what I want to do, but I know that I'm really unhappy just sitting around hoping that eventually I'm just gonna get over it. It's been 5 fucking months and I've not gotten over it, you know? I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated with myself for not being able to just do it. I feel guilty because there were people that actually took the time to read this thing that I was making, and I have not given them the next part of this story that I was promising to them, and that feels shitty. Feeling frustrated and guilty has been bleeding into every other thing that I've been making lately. I have been really, really demotivated with anything because Girl and Ghost is everywhere. It's in all of my sketchbooks, it's all over my channel, it's all over my room. It's some of the only merch that I've actually made has been Girl and Ghost characters. I have pins of them on my little pin flag banner thing. I have stickers on the back of my laptop, they're everywhere. I can't not pay attention to that feeling, and that used to make me, really happy that it was everywhere because it made me so happy, but it doesn't really make me happy right now. I don't know what to do. I would love to make a video talking about how I fixed this shame and guilt and frustration and all that bad stuff. And I probably will. I will. I will figure this out and I will move past it because that is what I want to do. I don't want to give up on this project and I'm not going to. But right now, I feel rough. And I wanted to talk about that because I think that what can be really hard is feeling alone in bad feelings, and I'm sure that people have also experienced this. Speaking of, if you can relate to any of the things that I've been talking about, I would really love some words of advice if you have any kind of guidance to offer in terms of how I might go about addressing these issues that I'm dealing with. But I also want you all to know that just because you've got a big number next to your name doesn't mean that you don't still experience these sorts of issues where you are frustrated with what you're making and you feel bad about it and you feel like it's not good enough and you get impatient and angry and all that. That still happens. I also know that a lot of what I'm dealing with right now is kind of that shame aspect, and I know that I probably shouldn't be ashamed, and by voicing that, I think it's easier to put it away. I have these feelings, they are real, they are valid, and now they are public because they're not something to be ashamed of, and so this is therapy is basically what I'm saying. Thank you in advance for any possible wisdom that you will have to offer to me, and also double thank you for sticking around and listening to me yammer like this. It was good to get this stuff off my chest, and also it's easy to love the videos where I'm talking about a bunch of mainstream things, but when I'm just talking about me, I also like those videos to do well. So if you did stick around and listen to this, that means a lot. Also, speaking of meaning a lot, obligatory thank you to my channel members. They really do go above and beyond to support me and this channel, and it helps out much more than they will probably ever truly know. So thank you so much to you all, and make sure that you're drinking your water and you're getting some fresh air, and most importantly, remember that you matter. And I'm gonna go play Tamagotchi Island. Bye. Oh, I finally had two of my guys get married. It was Toussaint and Charlie. Of course, the problematic pairing is the one that did the best on the island. But yeah, they got married. It was a beautiful service. Cedric sang at the wedding. I think he did call Toussaint a homophobe at some point, but that's, that's fine, I guess.